Good morning, lovely souls. It's Tim Wild, and I'm coming to you today on Thursday because it was it's not last night, it's a full moon today in the UK, South UK, and we have the harvest moon in Aries kind of building momentum now. And I felt some very, very powerful energy coming in last night. This is another reason why I wanted to do this today, because it's the 1st of October. Happy October. Happy full moon. And there was this... I've been sleeping very, very well recently. And when I'm going to bed early on a regular basis and sleeping right through, it usually indicates to me that something's coming up, because my body's naturally, my higher self is naturally preparing my physicality to deal with what came in last night. And sure enough, at about 11 o'clock, I started to feel the waves of energy coming in. Now, my intuition immediately kind of identified it as incoming Christ light, and this is building momentum now. Along with everything else that's going along around us, the cooking pot that we are experiencing, the Ascension cooking pot, is now going to step up on a daily basis to increase its momentum until we reach the winter solstice, or the summer solstice, depending on where you are on the planet. So last night I got royally fried and only got about 4 hours sleep, which usually would kind of bother me quite a lot, but because I've been catching up with myself recently, I actually feel pretty decent this morning. So so here we go. At the moment, we have got all sorts of kind of media pandemonium. The truthers are kind of having meltdowns absolutely everywhere, and rightly so, because there's situations being rolled out in the kind of what we'd call the 3D reality, which potentially look very kind of oppressive and scary. Now, I did a video back in I think it was May or June, I think it was May, late May, and it was named Loving Non-Compliance. And so my message today again goes very much along the lines of loving non-compliance, because if you break down what is happening around us, this kind of rolling out of kind of, you know, some people would call it Agenda 2030 or lockstep or whatever you want to call it, it has a very distinctive set of energies run by a very distinctive set of people who you've heard me talk about previously. They've been kind of running the show since the fall of Atlantis. But the thing that I've identified right in the centre of this, and many of you will also be aware of it, is the fact that anything that we participate in requires our permission. Okay, so if you see the things that are going on out there at the moment, they are worded or presented in such a way that they are inviting you, they are asking your permission to participate. Now, this includes the media bombardment of fear and kind of all of the stuff that regularly pours out of the televisions, out of Facebook. You see it on the front pages of the newspaper. Everything is an invitation. Okay, so here within lies the alchemy, the way that this is all being done, and how to simply and very effectively remove ourselves from this alchemy to continue participating in the vibration that we wish to do so, the 5th dimensional frequency. Now, I know a lot of you will be saying to, you know, like might be commenting a little bit later on, oh, but I live here and there isn't a choice. There is a choice. Because even though you might see these things going on around you and they are directly affecting you, whether you participate, the level of your participation depends completely on the energy with which you participate. Do you see where I'm coming from with this? So, say for the sake of example, and I'm going to use my wording very carefully here, because obviously the algorithms pick up on certain keywords. There's a set of guidelines, or what we would call, or laws, which have been, you know, I'm going to use the UK as example, which are rolled out, which say the word mandatory, Now, mandatory does not mean what it says in, say you look in Black's Law Dictionary. The word mandatory means with permission, okay, means that it cannot be it cannot be orchestrated unless you actively give your permission to do so. Now, this is just a small indication of how far up the ladder this energy, this participation actually goes. Now, my message is to only comply with something if it feels like it is the right thing to do for you. Okay, don't allow me to tell you what to comply with. Don't allow anybody else to tell you what to comply with. Use your heart as your navigation. If something feels wrong for you, then you remove yourself and you're like, no thank you, that is not for me, but you keep your vibration. Okay, and if something you wish to add yourself to, if something is pulling on you, and you feel that you must be part of that, then step into that energy and embrace it wholeheartedly. Whatever choices that you are making at the moment, do so from the heart and do so with the utmost integrity. Another thing to remember is that there are kind of no incorrect choices. Whatever you put your heart into will be the correct choice. So we are seeing an increase in drama. The energetical side of the drama is very much kind of magnified by the level of fear or the level of confusion that people around us are feeling. But you also might be starting to see the physical manifestation of this drama on the streets, like maybe an increased kind of law-keeping presence, and I know that's happening in the UK. This is all part of the rollout of this intensity. The only way I can describe it is, please participate in our drama. Okay, please add your energy to it. We are going to wind you all up. We are going to basically try and scare you as much as possible, so you can add your energy to our drama, and then you are part of the show. So step back from anything that contains that frequency, contains that vibration. I'm being very specific this morning about this because it's there's also been kind of rumblings of changes to our beloved Facebook, which will completely remove anybody who's speaking the truth from the platform. All this does is serve to strengthen our particular strengthen the ranks, the quantity of people that we have kind of waking up and saying, or questioning the narrative, saying this isn't quite right, you know. So this is, again, today a very practical call. It's more of a practical guide how to navigate what's going on in our what we can see on our Truman Show style reality screens around us going on at the moment. And it's going to increase as we go through what's autumn for us in the northern hemisphere and the spring in the southern hemisphere. We're going to see an escalation of this energy now, because it's been brought to my attention that the 21st of December, the solstice, is going to be of a magnificence that equals the cosmic moment. It's another major reset, another complete restepping of the kind of the calibration or the vibration of our entire planet. So everything that we're experiencing at the moment, it's build up. it's building momentum, it's building energy. The heat is being turned up on the cooking pot, and we are required to do everything that we are doing from the heart. Okay, so if it's just for another sake of example here, the protests that were occurring in London over the course of last weekend, you know, the brave souls who are standing up and saying, look, you know, our constitutional rights are being removed here. What are we, you know, like, listen to us. And there was peace. There was a loving vibration of complete peace and harmony throughout the entire crowd. I know people who actually were there, and they were basically invited to participate in another vibration by force, okay? And they didn't. The peace was kept, and this is how we are moving into this new higher frequency. But because if you can stay in your heart under the most incredible kind of quantities of pressure, then you cracked it, basically. It's what all of the training is. This is why we've been training so hard. This is why we've been clearing so hard. This is why we've been raising our vibration in unprecedented quantities, day after day, week after week, month after month. It's all about this period of time that we are experiencing right now in this moment. And there has never been anything like this before on planet Earth. You might say, oh, this is a repetition of what we say saw in 1930, you know, exactly the same kind of sets of regulations, the same players, almost the same blueprint. But that's being rolled out in a very different energy now. Like I said in the last video, it's like attempting to let off a firework in the rain. That firework might go a little bit, and then it fizzles out. But ultimately, that it is unable to do what it would have done effectively 10 or 20 years ago. So we are just being invited continuously to participate in this lower reality, this fear-based kind of, and the invitations are constant. It's like saying no to a party, and then somebody keeps phoning you every 5 minutes. Oh, come on, are you sure you don't want to go? You know, it's continuous, and those invites will be continuous. You'll get invitations from everything. You'll get invitations from the TV. You'll get invitations from your family. You'll get invitations from signs and billboards on the streets, and you know, this is how it's going to be for a little while, so just bear with it. So I've got a frog in my throat now. Just clear that. And with this full moon energy, with what lit up in the sky last night, as I was kind of lying in bed going to sleep, I just felt and before, when I'm lit up like this, it's usually unicorn energy coming in, but what I can feel mostly is just an increase, a magnitude of the Christ light that's coming in. So a lot of what we are integrating at the moment is gold ray energy, and that gold ray energy is kind of integrated with diamond energy as well. And this is a very, very physical integration that we're having. We'll be feeling it physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The full moon will be lighting up with our causal. Okay, the full moon over the last, or the moon over the last 10 years particularly, has been responsible for the huge inflow of the divine feminine energy that's been balancing out the planet and waking a lot of people up from the heart. So I could really feel this. It's almost I should think probably a lot of you be able to identify this, a little bit like being plugged into the mains. All of a sudden you think you're going to sleep, and the next minute you're lit up, and you can feel the current. Literally, you can feel the current moving through your body, and it was coming through in waves. So there's this very, very powerful ascension energy coming in at the moment. We'll call it ascension energy because that is basically what it is. It's designed to light everyone and everything up and catalyze change, catalyze forward movement from a lower frequency into a higher frequency. And you might be feeling this physically, because in order to make room for this new light, we have to drop any density, particularly fear, that could possibly be coming to the surface at the moment. So just, if you're feeling like me, drink a lot of water, rest as much as possible, stay grounded. As you notice, I'm going to be out in my garden giving the Ascension updates and the meditations, unless it's actually chucking down with rain. If it's cold, I just put a hat on and kind of deal with the wet bum scenario. But stay grounded, drink lots of water, stay tuned into news and vibrations which raise your frequency rather than kind of carry you in the opposite direction. And if it's all getting a little bit too much, just step back from the bombardment and give yourself time and space just to kind of recalibrate. And one very effective way that I was using was the meditation that I put out on Monday, which was using the light that's coming in as a balancing from the chakra column. If you kind of bring it up from the earth and then meet the energy that's coming in and kind of move it up and down the chakra column in a wave form, that brings you back into linearity very, very quickly. You only need to do it sort of like 5 or 10 times. Waveform up and down the chakra column, and it unifies the 4-body system, physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually, and allows you to kind of reset almost. It's a very effective way of doing it. So this is the energy that came in with the full moon last night. It was incredibly powerful. But yeah, the note of today is the essence of loving non-compliance. Okay, that the warrior of the warrior of the golden age will never step over their own boundaries. It's I don't know, it's almost physically, emotionally and mentally impossible to do so. Once that line has been drawn in the sand, you cannot step over it. there's that level of fifth dimensional integrity that is so powerful, so intense that you cannot cross it. So draw that line in the sand, that line of loving non-compliance with fifth dimension integrity, and stick to it. Doesn't matter what is presented, what you are asked to do. Always be guided by your heart as to whether you are going to actively participate. And remember, the party invitations for 3D are going to be coming, especially as it's almost a little bit, it's like party season now, isn't it? It's we've got Halloween coming up, and then we've got the kind of the Yuletide celebrations and everything, party kind of thing will usually, and so the energy of this will be the 3D invitations are going to increase. So just stay in your lane, keep your light high, your frequency clear, your manifestation sharp, and hold that light, because the construction that we've created now is impenetrable. It's you see all these actors, you see all of the talking heads on TV, the ones that are making, the ones that are trying to drive the program. I mean, if you look at it from the point of view, they are literally they are pawns in our game now, and the majority of them don't even realize it. The more they do this, the more goals, the more own goals they score, which is a fantastic thing. Let them crack on with that. So sending you loads and loads of love, and I know it would normally be on a Friday that I do this update, but it's Thursday today. And so I won't be doing one tomorrow because I've got stuff going on. Okay, so hope you have a brilliant end to the week. Send you all loads of love, and I'll be catching up again soon. Bye for now.